What's the difference, Ebony Lucas, between you and the other candidates that are running for the 4th Ward seat?
The difference is my passion, my experience, my willingness to work to make this happen, my willingness to collaborate with the community, my background. I actually started as a teacher. I taught 1st grade and ended up working then for a couple nonprofit organizations as a fundraiser. And then, as I mentioned, I've been working as an attorney. So I have a diverse background of experiences, and those experiences all come together to make me highly qualified to help me to understand the issues behind education, understand the issues behind development, understand the issues behind family structure, because at one point I was a single mom, and I'm not now. I'm remarried. My husband Garland is actually here. And I have 4 kids and a blended family. And, I was speaking to some people here tonight about how we're all over the city going to schools. So just being a parent in this community currently and understanding the issues from the perspective of a parent, of a family person, and of a business owner, I think that all of those diverse experiences make me the best candidate for the 4th Ward Alderman.
That deserves a round of applause. So, a lawyer for 12 years, a mother, a wife, the husband. I would like you to stand. And I would like for you to give a statement to this community about your wife.
Come up here. Good evening. I'm Garland Lucas, Ebony's husband. So when you think about somebody running for a public office, you really have to think about what's their motivation. Why are they really doing it? Are they doing it because it's needed? Are they doing it because they're hard into it? Are they doing it because somebody else told you to do it? So I got 2 quick stories. First story is I work 10, 16 hours a day. I come home one summer day, it's hot outside. I'm looking forward to going in the basement, chilling out, taking a nap. I get out the truck, I got these 3 little boys running up to me. Mr. Lucas, your wife said when you get home, we can come swim in the pool. I'm thinking, not my kids. Don't even live on this block. I get on the phone, did you say that? She said, yeah. I said, okay, come on. Well, it was more than 3, I had 20 kids in this pool. About 2 weeks after work every day.
Not one day, but 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks.
20 kids?
About 20 kids.
The crowd grew on a daily basis.
So, and this is before she even thought about running. So when she says she cares about kids, she cares about kids. Not just her kids, but our kids.
The community.
That's true. She worked as an attorney with condominium associations. There's this one condominium association that was full of seniors. The building was going to receivership, all types of issues. She got home one day, she had this look of despair on her face, this look really down. I go hug her, she's burst out into tears. After she cried about 10 minutes, I asked what's wrong. Said the city's taking this building from all these seniors, they had no place to go. I don't know what to do for them, all this other stuff. Really despair. Next thing you know, I wake up about 1 o'clock in the morning. She's on her laptop doing research in some law. All I know, in the end, she got her money to move, to transition to new condos and new houses, put money in their pocket, and everybody left that building happy. So when she says she cares about seniors, this is before she was running. So when she says she cares about seniors and she cares about affordable housing, she truly cares. Her heart is there. She put the hours into it, and she's gonna make sure it works. And last but not least, all these ordinances that goes on to city council, do you know that most of our aldermen don't even read it, don't put it in front of it? That's not her. She's learning how to research law, to find little loopholes to make stuff work the way it's supposed to work. So I'm confident that when somebody put an ordinance in front of her, she's going to read it, she's going to bring it to the community and say, what is our best route to deal with this ordinance? So all this before she started running, so I know this is her, this is her character. So her motive is in the right place. She's doing it because she knows this community needs it. So that's why I know she'd be the best person for this job. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. So, let me tell this incredible audience that was not planned. And if anybody listens to me on the radio on WVON from 11 to 2, the Talk of Chicago, God's favorite radio station, I do that. I just do things from my heart, and it works. So I didn't know what he just said to all of us. Did you know? Did you know what she did for the seniors? Did you know about the swimming pool and the other children and they wasn't hers? Did you know? That makes me love her a little bit more because I found out, and I have a love for seniors. I have a love for seniors so much that every week of my life, my husband and I feed 3 seniors in their 90s. Home cooked food or food from Miss Lee. Soul food. And when I hear you say you love seniors, what made you do that for the seniors, Ebony Lucas?
Well,
and to give them money.
Like Garland mentioned, that was a very difficult situation. And, you know, as an attorney, I have situations that are easy, and then I face situations like that where we have to find a win. And for me, I represented that building for 3 years, but, you know, some of the people in this room I've represented at times, and you know that, like, when I represent someone, I take it on and I do the best that I can do 100%. So for me, that situation was about finding a win in a bad situation. They had code violations on their building. They were not going to be able to afford to fix the violations. And I just wanted to make sure that when they left that building, and I should back up. The impressive thing about that building was that the people in that building were primarily African American, and many of them purchased their properties in the 70s. And there was one lady on the board who used to work for NASA. There was someone on the board who was a CPA. These were all people there was a doctor. These were people who were highly educated at a time when it was very difficult for Black people to become educated. So for them to lose their home at that point in their life was just it was tough for them and it was tough for me. So I made sure that I found resources where the city's attorney was like, we just want these people out. We want them out by November. We don't care where they go. We don't care what happens to them. And that shouldn't happen to people. The city should be providing resources, we called them, we asked them if there was support, if there were any resources to help them to make repairs in their building. There was nothing. And there's a lot of seniors that face that situation. A lot of particularly women who their husband took care of their home, or their husband purchased an apartment building and their husband passes away and now they're responsible for it. And they don't have the money and the resources because they're on a fixed income. And we need to be aware that those issues exist and make sure that, again, that there are resources available to them. Because like Garland mentioned, it took me just searching on the internet, talking to my community, and I reached out to actually a real estate broker, and the city was ready to sell the building for $900,000. We found a buyer for $3.2 million.
Wow.
Just by putting it on. And they sold the property.
The city just wanted them out.
They just wanted them out.
Didn't care where they went, they just wanted them out.
And they wanted to let one of their friends, one of their cronies, one of their insiders buy the building. And the building is in the South Shore, where coincidentally, right across the street, they're trying to build golf course. So
That sounds too familiar.
it's happening, and people need to know it's happening. And we need to not continue to support the status quo, not continue to support insiders, not continue to put the same people in place that are going to take the same actions and the same steps. And that's why our button says, expect a different result. Because we can't keep doing the same things over and over again and expecting the different results. We have to do something new. We have to do something different.
I hear her voice. You hear it. Hear it. So, early voting began January the 19th, and you can vote at 69 West Washington. However, February the 13th, you can vote at King Center, 43rd and College, right down the street. You can vote tomorrow, or you can vote February the 13th. But what you must do is promise me you're going to vote. And you're going to tell somebody else. I'll take you if you can't get there. That's the only way we're going to make a difference. Am I right? That's the only thing that's going to make a difference. Now, speaking of support, I wrote something down here. Michael Reese, you remember, how many of you all remember Michael Reese Hospital? Ooh. So, is it true the former Michael Reese property is going to be a casino?
Well, that's one of the considerations. So they are, right now, they're accepting responses to, from developers about what they want to put at the Michael Reese site. They did a study back in 2012. They talked to some community members, came up with a study that said that the best uses for Michael Reese were three things: the Obama Library, a casino, or a hotel cluster. So the Obama Library is not going there because it's going in South Shore. The hotel cluster was built behind McCormick Place. It's already in the process of being built. So what's left and what they gave the developers as guidance for what they want to, what they should form their opinions around was a casino. On top of it, the way that they're doing the development, Michael Reese is a huge site. They're requiring that one developer that the developer be able to develop the entire site.
One developer.
Right. As opposed to breaking it up into pieces so that larger developers, like I mentioned, the developer who bought that building for $3.2 million, he bought that building cash, right? So he has money. I contacted him about Michael Reese and said, hey, are you going to respond to this? And he said, we can't do something that big. It's too big. So not only are they cutting out opportunities for smaller developers, local developers, but they're cutting out opportunities to make it something more creative than a casino. Like an artist village, or like an area where, you have shops and, like the shops and lofts on Roosevelt. You can't do that when you're trying to develop a massive site. Yes?
Are we going to clean up the site? Because remember, it's toxic. It was a hospital.
Great question. So one of the...
And who's going to clean up the site?
That's what I was just about to say.
Who's going to clean up the site?
At this time, they had 2 community meetings about it. And the 2 community meetings, they said that the city is going to pay for it. Which means, again, they're taking taxpayer dollars for a private development. So we can find money, we can find taxpayer dollars for that, but we can't find taxpayer dollars for our schools or for our pensions.
But there is dollars, but it went a different way. Am I right? It went to 10.
Right.
However, your voice can make the difference because you're going to fight for our education, for our students, for our kids, for our schools. So, there's 2 things I want to do. I want to tell you how you can get involved. I want to ask you 3 things. I want to ask if there's any more questions. I don't want you to walk out of the store and say, I should have asked this. I don't want you to do that. I don't want that finger up. I want you to stand there. We want to see you you stand up, give your name,